Come on, come on, come on. Oh, do you ever feel like you get stuck over the ball sometimes? You just can't get your swing started. If ever you feel that way, or you just would love to have a better way of starting your swing, that's what we're going to cover in today's lesson. We're going to look at 3 different ways that you can start your swing. We're going to look at the pros and the cons of those a little bit, because it's important you understand them. And then at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my favorite way, my favorite focus, and a practice drill that you can use to help you get that silky smooth, relaxed, stress-free start to the swing. That's the objective of today's lesson. So let's get into it. And there is no doubt about it. If you can find a rhythm at the start of your swing, if you can feel like you get into that nice smooth rhythm, of course it sets you up for the rest of the swing. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 is, if we think about it, obviously I'm going to talk from a right-handed golfer's perspective. If you're left-handed, please just reverse that. When I set up to the golf ball here, one of the things that we know we commonly like to do is like to transfer our weight to the right-hand side and then transfer it through to the left-hand side. Well, actually, if you take it literally to shift weight to one side, it does mean we need to push off the opposite side, okay? So if I want to shift weight into my right side, at some degree, there is a slight push off of the left side to help me move over here, okay? That's happening very slightly. So therefore, one effective way to start the swing for many people is to feel as though they gently push under their lead foot, my left foot, just gently push under that to start me off. That can be really effective. Here's the pros to it. It keeps you grounded. It gets you using your lower half. That can be a great thing. The downside is you could push a bit too far and end up going into a bit of a sway. Okay, that's going to be fairly common actually throughout these different ones. But that's one approach for sure. A second one is to use a forward press. You see many golfers do that, where they actually start to press their hands forward here to get the swing off. They press forward, then they go ahead and make their golf swing. Okay, so that's again another can be an effective way of doing it. The benefits of that again is you get something moving. You don't go from that static start. You actually get some flow here. Again, think about it similar. You're going to the left towards the target with the handle. That then allows that rebound effect here. Going to the left of the handle again is likely to get a little bit of weight going into your left leg. I'm just probably exaggerating so you can see it on the camera. Get it going forward there into that left side, and then you can carry on and through into your shot. I didn't actually mean to hit that. Okay. If ever you want to learn to hit a top shot, that's how you do it. So that's the benefit. The downside is this to that, and that is that as you press, if I exaggerate this slightly, can you see what's happening to my spine and my shoulder angle here? Okay, as the hands go forward, I end up with too much of a spine angle back here. That's not a great position to work the spine. I'm no longer stacked up. I'm no longer in that nice compact swing that, you know, if you follow intuitive golf, we talk a lot about that swinging within your structure. So it has the potential to affect that. So that's the downside to that. Third way we can look at, and this is really a forward press, but with the right knee and the right foot. And so that way this one works is you set up, and actually to trigger the swing off, you're going to press forward with that knee here, that right knee again. I'm just exaggerating it slightly so you can see it easily. That push forward again has a similar effect. It gets me going towards the left, then I can push back off. The positive again is really what it does, it engages you. By using that knee, it really kind of gets you engaged into the ground, into the setup, and then that can make you nice and compact as a result. The downside is you are breaking the structure a little bit. If you overdo it a bit, you're breaking the structure here. Sometimes you won't recover from that particularly well. Okay, so hopefully you can see there's 3 different ways. There's many, but there's 3 different examples of how you start. If you're using one of them, it works for you, fantastic. Keep doing it. But if you want to try one, go ahead and try one and see how you get on. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you what I believe to be the most effective one, which I really love, and I know when people use this have a lot of success with it. It tends to help you mentally and physically at the same time. Let's first of all look at the downside potentially to all of those 3 is we can end up thinking about our body quite a bit. Now, again, if you know how to think about your body in the right way, the structure, that tends not to be a problem. But those other ways can get you quite body conscious and thinking about positions and parts. And that doesn't always go very well. this exercise I'm going to give you here, this focus, gets you thinking about the club head. And in many cases, when we think of something external like the club head, we tend to relax our body a bit. We actually begin to move a little bit more unconsciously or subconsciously. We begin to do that a little bit more. We don't think about controlling our body quite as much. So that's why it works well. So this is how it works. What you're going to do is you're going to set up, and I'm going to use actually a different color ball here so you can see it easily. You set up, and what you do, in fact, let me come up and show you close in as well. You're going to have the ball you're going to hit here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have another ball directly behind the club head here, right against the back of the club head. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And quite simply, what you're going to do is you're going to use a very smooth action to get the ball behind the club head just to roll away. Okay, so it's going to be like this. I'll show you first of all, just as a practice, just going to be nice and smooth there. Okay, that's all we're looking for, is just that nice smoothness. Now, the other thing, I'll hit a couple in a minute and show you. The other thing it does really well is it gives you an indication of actually where you're taking the club away. So if I'm coming to, or rather you're directly behind me with the camera here, when I set up here, if I roll that way nice and smoothly, the ball will tend to roll relatively straight. It may possibly come slightly inside, okay? It may slightly come inside, just maybe just there, a little bit more, okay? But pretty straight. If you do have a tendency, there's a couple of things actually. If you have a tendency to take the club outside the line, you might see that with the ball. You might actually see yourself pushing the ball much further outside. So it's not, that's a secondary gain, it's a secondary benefit, but it is certainly something that you can be aware of. It will help you there. The most important bit is the ball rolls very smoothly away and actually travels probably 1 meter to 2 meters. Because if you're a bit jerky and a bit quick, sometimes you might come over the ball and you don't really get that ball rolling away, okay? Equally, other times, if you're very tense in your hands and arms, you might sort of fly the ball and the ball might go flying as it has just done there, okay? So actually what you start to build up is, as you build up a very nice smooth rhythm to the start of your swing, that effortless start that we're looking for, you're also going to get consistent feedback about where that ball rolls to. Okay, you can see I did that without really thinking about it. That ball's come fractionally inside. It's done about 2 meters away from me. Okay, so that's really it. That's how the drill works. And then obviously what happens is you continue and go ahead and hit the shot. So let's actually just put that into practice now. Okay, so you'll set up into our position here, and again, you want to feel nice and relaxed. Just gently roll that ball away. And that takes you through into a nice rhythmical balanced finish. That ball's actually gone probably closer to 3 meters away, just fractionally on the inside. Okay, clearly the adrenaline of doing it in front of the camera gave it a little bit more oomph, but it really felt beautiful and smooth. Okay, it really genuinely did. And I've actually not hit any shots whatsoever today. That is my first shot of the day without any warm-up, but that nice rhythm actually allowed me to have a nice rhythmical smooth swing. So when you go to the golf range, just practice that a few times, okay, and then go and hit some balls normally. When you hit it normally, obviously all you're looking for is just that idea that you now focused on the club head, not your body. Remember, that's one of the benefits of this. You focus on the club and just letting the club head swing away, and as you do that, in effect, it will feel like the body is following the club head, okay? That's a feeling. Of course, it's not the actuality of what's going on, but that's the feeling. So I hope you like my favorite takeaway drill to get you to be able to start your swing in a way which actually is good mentally. It relaxes you mentally, then relaxes you physically and gives you that lovely, lovely rhythm that you want. Works with all the clubs, a little bit harder to do with the driver, obviously, but if you practice with the irons and just carry that feeling forward into your woods, you're going to get the same benefit. So let me know if you've enjoyed that. Give us your feedback in your comments below. It's always good to see them. If you've got any questions you'd love me to try and answer, please share them down below, and I will look forward to answer them. See you next time.